So what are the common myths about chiropractic medicine?
I'd say in my practice the most common things I hear are that it's dangerous, that it's addictive, and that it's just really for back and neck pain.
Okay, so what is your contrast to that?
Okay. The first one, that it's dangerous.
Yeah.
I've actually published, I think it's 6 papers at this point on various topics, and the first 2 I did were on that. So I really know the research, like with the dangers of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
what do they say when somebody says it's dangerous? What do you mean? Or what do they mean?
Well, I'll tell you what they mean and what the actual possibilities of injury are.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people try to relate a stroke to a chiropractic adjustment.
You mean that they had a chiropractic adjustment and then had a stroke?
Yeah, and just flat. No, it's just not true.
Yeah.
Like all the research that looks into that really dispels it. And frankly, the only injury that I came across that is very rare but does happen is people who are extremely osteoporotic can sometimes have a rib broken, but we're also talking about the same people that can sneeze and break a rib.
Okay.
So I've seen people with severe osteoporosis and never had a problem.
Right.
And really, when you talk about the dangers, the absolute bottom line is malpractice insurance.
Oh yeah,
so,
I know that's pretty high. Huh?
So if we look at medicine,
right,
the safest type of medical doctor you can go to is a family practice doctor. So
and why is that?
Because all they're doing is prescribing different types of medications. They're not doing any surgeries. So
right.
it's pretty minimally invasive stuff.
Okay.
So in New Jersey, I actually have a patient who owns a malpractice company, and she told me that on average, that level of medical doctor will pay about $17,000 a year for malpractice.
Whoa.
The lowest I've heard is $6,000 a year.
What?
For just insurance. So now,
okay, I'm a math major from like previous, so I'm counting $17,000 a year is like over $1,000 a month.
Oh yeah, and that's
okay.
the safest level of medicine.
Okay.
Some of the higher ones can get up as high as $100,000 a year.
Okay. So back to what you were saying about the dangers?
Back to what I do.
Yeah, back to what you do.
So looking at, if chiropractic is dangerous and you're adjusting people, well, if the safest tier of medicine is, let's even say, $6,000 a year.
Okay.
Want to know what I pay for malpractice insurance?
What?
$900.
Why?
Because it's safe. The bottom line is the malpractice companies don't care if they like you, they don't care if they agree with you. If you're not hurting people and getting sued, you pay less. So that's the bottom line of safety of chiropractic.
Really?
Yes.
See, I learned something new today on my own show.
Well,
look at
thank
that,
you.
y'all. So, well, that's cool. So now, so we talked about the dangers. What was the second one?
That it's addictive.
Oh, yes.
So a lot of times I've been approached by people and they're concerned that if they go once, they have to go for the rest of their lives. And the reality is,
I heard that too, though.
A lot of people say that. And how that actually works is, if you start going and you're trying to get rid of some pain or health problem, it's going to take a little time to undo the damage and allow your body to heal. Once you've done that, you get to a point where you can stop, and it's not going to come back, it's not going to revert unless you hurt yourself. But during that time period, a lot of times people will see that they feel like they're more agile, they're sleeping better, they just feel healthier, their immune systems work better, and they want to continue. So as an example, literally my first patient who walked in my office in Princeton still comes to me 11 or 12 years later. So,
really?
And it's not because he has to or because he's addicted, but just because he feels better when he's getting adjusted. It's like exercising or eating right.
What's the third myth?
Well, I kind of actually just talked about it, that chiropractic is just for neck and back pain.
Okay.
Because really the whole point of it, I heard an analogy which I thought was kind of funny, but it really kind of rung true with me. Saying that chiropractic is good for back pain is like describing Gandhi as being a bald vegetarian. They're both true statements, but there's such a small portion of the truth that it actually distorts things and sounds almost silly.
Did you just see my face when you said
that? I
that?
completely saw
okay.
it. It was fantastic.
Okay.
Confusing.
Yeah.
But my point is, Gandhi was bald, he was a vegetarian, but
right?
to describe him as that is completely missing the point.
Yeah, hello.
Same with chiropractic for back pain. It does help with that, but it's completely like a small portion of what it really is intended for.
So, back, neck, and everything else.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah, like I said, if somebody has some physical problem that they want help with, I can do that. But really my focus has always been trying to get people healthier, help them grow their health over time. And so anyone who wants to be healthier.
Without drugs, right?
Without drugs.
Okay.
Yeah.